The arena buzzed with electricity, a mix of adrenaline and anticipation coursing through the packed crowd. Under the bright lights, fans from every corner of the globe filled the seats, their cheers and chants creating a thunderous heartbeat that matched the pulse of the evening. Banners adorned with the names of legendary fighters hung overhead, while giant screens displayed highlights of past bouts, reminding everyone of the epic confrontations that had unfolded in this very space. As cameras flashed and announcers revved up the excitement, a palpable tension filled the air. The atmosphere was intoxicating, each spectator hanging on to every word of the announcer, who praised the skills and charisma of the fighters about to take to the stage. Tonight wasn't just another match, it was a clash of titans, drawing a star-studded lineup of athletes eager to prove their mettle. Amidst this electric spectacle, The Rock was among the most celebrated names in attendance. His legacy loomed large over the arena as fans eagerly awaited what was next. With a reputation for resilience and charm, he inspired loyalty that was undeniable. Even as opponents lined up to face him, they recognized that pitting themselves against such a formidable competitor came with its risks. As the evening wore on, whispers began to circulate among fans and fighters alike about an unexpected challenge looming on the horizon, one that threatened to intensify both the excitement and tension swarming throughout the arena. Little did they know that this night would unravel into something far more dramatic than anyone anticipated. As the lights dimmed and the music began to thump, the crowd erupted in cheers, a wave of loyalty crashing against the barriers of anticipation. The unmistakable sound of The Rock's entrance music filled the arena, igniting a collective roar that echoed around every corner. Bathed in vibrant colors as he strode into the spotlight, his larger-than-life persona instantly commanded attention. His signature eyebrow raise sent a familiar thrill through the audience, who responded with chants of his name, celebrating not just a fighter but a beloved icon. Dressed in his characteristic attire that exuded confidence and swagger, The Rock projected charisma that resonated with fans old and new. Each calculated step exuded purpose as he acknowledged the sea of supporters, his bright smile enlightening even the most anxious faces in the crowd. This was more than an entrance, it was a declaration filled with sheer magnetism. He paused briefly at the edge of the ring, soaking in the energy and bathing in applause before flashing his trademark grin. With every gesture, every flex of muscle and wave to his fans, he reinforced his legendary status while establishing an unbreakable connection that seemed to weave through reality. As he climbed into the ring, eyes fiercely scanning for challengers yet to come, it became clear that The Rock was not merely entering for competition, he was stepping into an electric atmosphere where expectations soared high. The buzz morphed into suspenseful anticipation as everyone wondered not only about his next match but also how he would react to whatever challenge awaited him. As the cheers for The Rock began to fade, a new figure emerged from the shadows, cutting through the atmosphere with an almost palpable air of self-assuredness. The Navy SEAL strutted toward the ring, his posture straight and confident, embodying a blend of military discipline and undeniable bravado. Clad in a fitted combat-style attire that accentuated his chiseled physique, he radiated an aura that screamed toughness and tenacity. With a smirk plastered on his face, he surveyed the crowd as if they were merely an audience meant to bear witness to his inevitable triumph. Hailing from a background steeped in elite training and intense physical challenges, the SEAL had built a reputation not just for his combat skills but for his cocky demeanor that set him apart from other challengers. He thrived on confidence, believing wholeheartedly that no one could stand against him, especially not someone like The Rock. As he approached the center of the ring, he exchanged banter with the audience, relishing their reactions. Some were amused by his audacity while others were put off by his smugness. This was a man who believed he could outsmart and outfight anyone in the arena. With each step forward, he provoked murmurs among the spectators. They were uncertain whether to admire his boldness or question his judgment in challenging a legend. The moment he glanced at The Rock from across the ring, locked in an almost predatory stare, it became evident that this clash would not only be physical but also psychological, a true battle of wills that promised to captivate every onlooker present. The tension in the arena reached a boiling point as the Navy SEAL seized the microphone, his smirk broadening as he prepared to deliver his challenge. "Hey, Rock," he called out, his voice dripping with sarcasm and confidence. "I hope you didn't think this was going to be a cakewalk. You may have dazzled the crowd, but let's face it, you're looking at the real deal now." Gasps and murmurs rippled through the audience. Some fans chuckled at his audacity, while others shouted in disbelief, questioning if he truly understood whom he was taunting. Fighters around the ring exchanged wary glances, understanding that challenging The Rock was no small feat. it was akin to poking a bear. "Why don't we give these people a real show?" the seal continued, leaning over the ropes with an exaggerated swagger. "I challenge you to step into this ring and see if your road of glory can withstand my training and skill, because I can promise you one thing, when it's all said and done, they won't be cheering for The Rock." Excitement electrified the crowd as they reacted wildly to his boldness. Some screamed in support of The Rock while others egged on the seal's audacious taunts. Faces illuminated by vibrant lights revealed a mix of disbelief and thrill as fans anticipated how The Rock would respond. All eyes shifted back to him, curious to see if he would rise to the formidable challenge laid before him or disregard it altogether. A pivotal moment that would determine the tone for what was soon to come. The atmosphere in the arena crackled with mixed emotions as fans processed the Navy SEAL's bold challenge. An electric buzz spread like wildfire, igniting a chorus of reactions that filled every inch of the space. Some spectators couldn't contain their excitement, erupting into cheers for The Rock, chanting his name in unison. They were fueled by loyalty and belief, certain that their hero would rise to the occasion and put the Smug seal in his place. Yet, amidst the fervent supporters, there were those whose expressions mirrored disbelief. Many couldn't fathom why anyone would dare to provoke The Rock so openly. They exchanged nervous glances, whispering in hushed tones that hinted at their uncertainty regarding the seal's audacity. A few even jeered at the challenger, dismissing him as a fool who didn't understand the magnitude of what he was up against. As the tension mounted, fighters in nearby corners observed intently, understanding that this moment could shift the dynamics of the entire night. Some nodded appreciatively at the seal's bravado, while others frowned, concerned about what it might mean for the legacy of The Rock. The cacophony of voices reached a fever pitch, blending excitement with anxiety. Every fan seemed to hold their breath collectively, waiting for The Rock to respond. Would he accept the challenge and unleash his prowess, or would he take a different approach? The arena held its breath in anticipation, knowing that the next moments could define not just the fight ahead but also the very essence of competition itself. Backstage, The Rock was surrounded by his close-knit team, the energy still bubbling from the intensity of the previous moments. They could hear the distant roar of the crowd as they anticipated his next move. "Did you see that guy?" one of his trainers chuckled, shaking his head. "What's he thinking? He must have watched too many action movies." The Rock leaned back against a wall, a mischievous smile creeping onto his face. "Maybe he thinks he can outsmart me with those salty lips," he quipped, showcasing his trademark sense of humor even in the face of a challenge. His teammates laughed, and the tension that hung thick in the air began to dissipate. "Think you'll give him a taste of the people's elbow?" another teammate chimed in, grinning widely. The Rock raised an eyebrow, then flexed his bicep playfully. "Oh, it'll be more than just an elbow, we're talking about a full buffet of whoopass tonight." His confidence radiated through the room, easing any concerns among his crew. "Look," he continued, meeting their gazes with unwavering determination, "I respect everyone who steps into that ring with me, but this is my house, and no one comes in here and disrespects what we've built." With jovial banter turning into focused resolve, he added, "Tonight's not just about showing off skills, it's about pride." The laughter faded into nods of agreement as they gathered around him for a huddle, ready to back their champion for whatever challenges lay ahead. The stage was set for The Rock to remind everyone why he was an icon, not just through bravado but through sheer heart and skill in the ring. As the moment of confrontation approached, the atmosphere in the arena shifted to a tense silence. Every eye locked onto the two combatants standing face to face in the center of the ring. The Rock's imposing figure radiated confidence, his muscles seemed to ripple under the spotlight, and his intense gaze pierced through the noise. Across from him, the Navy SEAL stood tall and steady, his posture reflecting both readiness and arrogance. Each man was a testament to hard work and discipline, yet their styles clashed dramatically. The Rock's body language exuded calm assurance, a slight grin playing on his lips as he took a measured step closer, showcasing his size and strength. He cracked his knuckles audibly, a gesture that sent shivers through the audience, a warning that he was more than prepared for this showdown. In contrast, the SEAL met his gaze with an unwavering stare, arms crossed over his chest, a self-satisfied smirk etched on his face. He seemed unfazed by The Rock's presence, embodying an unyielding confidence that further heightened the tension surrounding them. Around the arena, spectators held their breath, caught in the electrifying moment. The air felt thick with anticipation, as if time itself had paused. Even the fighters in the corners could sense the underlying current of rivalry. It wasn't just about physical prowess but also a battle of wills. As they stood inches apart, Each fighter's determination sparked an unspoken challenge: who would emerge victorious? When the bell finally rang, the energy was palpable, setting the stage for a clash that promised to be etched in the annals of combat sports history. The bell rang, slicing through the silence and igniting the crowd's energy. The Rock stepped forward with controlled aggression, launching into a series of quick jabs aimed at the Navy SEAL. His strategy was clear: use his size and reach to dominate early on. With each punch thrown, the arena erupted, fans rallying behind their champion as he showcased a blend of power and technique. The SEAL, however, was not easily intimidated. He danced on his feet, employing his military training to dodge the Rock's strikes with surprising agility. His counterattacks were sharp and precise. When the Rock overreached for a haymaker, the SEAL capitalized, delivering a swift roundhouse kick that caught the Rock off guard. Gasps echoed in the arena as the Rock staggered slightly, a true testament to the SEAL's skill that momentarily silenced even his most fervent supporters. Regaining composure, the Rock adjusted his approach. He began to bait the SEAL, feigning vulnerability to draw him in. Each time the SEAL lunged forward, the Rock would pivot and unleash devastating body shots that resonated throughout the ring. It was a strategic chess game unfolding before an excited audience. They could feel the tension building as both fighters tested each other's limits. In one unexpected moment, the Rock feigned an injury, staggering back as if caught, but just as quickly, he launched into an explosive uppercut that sent shockwaves through the crowd. The SEAL narrowly avoided it, but it was clear, the Rock was not just relying on brute strength, he was using clever tactics to keep his opponent, and the audience, on their toes. As the first round ticked down, both fighters had laid bare their intentions for battle, leaving everyone on edge for what would unfold next. Just as the Rock appeared to be gaining momentum at the start of the second round, a pivotal moment shifted the tide of the match. The SEAL, having studied his opponent's rhythm, suddenly countered with lightning speed. As the Rock swung for another powerful jab, the SEAL ducked under and connected a swift uppercut that sent shockwaves of surprise through the crowd. The impact was so precise that it staggered the Rock for a brief moment, sending ripples of concern through his fans. It quickly became evident that the Rock wasn't invincible. The tide had turned, and the SEAL seized the opportunity to capitalize on this newfound advantage. With an air of confidence, he began to press forward, throwing a flurry of calculated strikes that put the Rock on the defensive for the first time in the bout. Each punch hit its mark, demonstrating both precision and tactical brilliance as he aimed for soft spots, attempting to wear down the iconic fighter. The audience was torn. Some screamed in disbelief as their champion struggled to regain his footing, while others cheered for the unexpected display of skill from the SEAL. Tension filled the arena as murmurs spread among spectators about whether the Rock could rally back from this sudden onslaught. Caught between pride and vulnerability, the Rock's face reflected a mix of determination and frustration, but deep down, he knew he had faced tough battles before. Would he rise again and reclaim control, or had he underestimated his opponent? The uncertainty hung thick in the air, leaving everyone eagerly anticipating what would unfold next in this dramatic clash. As the match reached its climax, the tension in the arena was palpable. The Rock, momentarily on the defensive, could feel the weight of anticipation from the crowd urging him on. The SEAL, emboldened by his recent success, moved in like a predator sensing victory, throwing a series of rapid strikes that kept the Rock on his heels. However, unbeknownst to the audience and his opponent, the Rock had been waiting for this precise moment to turn the tide. With a calculated breath, he surveyed his opponent's movements. In a flash, the Rock feigned exhaustion, drawing the SEAL in closer as if he were vulnerable. The audience gasped in unison as they thought he was faltering. Little did they know it was all part of his strategy. As the SEAL lunged forward for what he hoped would be a finishing blow, the Rock swiftly pivoted and unleashed an explosive counterattack, a devastating right hook that connected squarely with the SEAL's jaw. The impact resonated throughout the arena like thunder. Time seemed to freeze as everyone processed the scene. The SEAL's confident demeanor shattered as he was knocked off his feet and sent crashing to the canvas. Gasps transformed into stunned silence before erupting into deafening cheers as fans celebrated their hero's incredible comeback. The referee swooped in, beginning the count while the Rock stood over his fallen opponent, chest heaving with exertion yet radiating undeniable charisma and power. This knockout blow not only left everyone speechless but underscored why he remained an icon, capable of rising from adversity and delivering moments that would be forever etched into combat sports history. As the SEAL lay sprawled on the canvas, a profound silence enveloped the arena. the initial eruption of excitement had been abruptly snuffed out, replaced by a collective gasp as spectators processed the stunning turn of events. Eyes widened in disbelief, fans exchanged stunned glances, their cheers transforming into muted whispers that echoed softly in the now still environment. Time seemed suspended. It was as if the world outside had faded away, leaving only this pivotal moment to linger. The Rock stood over his fallen opponent, chest heaving and face a mixture of exertion and triumph, yet he too was momentarily caught in the gravity of what had just transpired. The referee began his count, but every second felt like an eternity. A sense of awe permeated the air as spectators struggled to comprehend how swiftly the match had changed. Some fans clutched each other in shock, while others held their breath, unable to look away from the ring. It was a surreal tableau. A champion who had risen from adversity now towering over a challenger who had been so confident just moments before. As the count continued, murmurs of disbelief spread through the crowd. Did that just happen? And, is he really down? Rippled throughout. The electric atmosphere became charged with anticipation for what would come next, either a comeback for the Seal or an unequivocal victory for The Rock. This moment would be etched in memory. It marked not just a fight but a testament to resilience and sheer power, leaving everyone eager to see how it would conclude. As the referee signaled the end of the match, The Rock's expression shifted from fierce determination to genuine concern. He approached the Seal, who was being helped to his feet, and offered a hand with a warm smile. "You fought hard," he said, his voice carrying a tone of respect that resonated with the audience. "You pushed me like no one else has in a long time." The crowd, still buzzing from the electrifying finish, erupted in cheers not just for The Rock's victory but for the sportsmanship he displayed. He turned to face the fans, raising his arms in acknowledgement, gratitude shining in his eyes. "This is for all of you, thank you for your support," he exclaimed, his charisma radiating through the arena once again. The energy shifted as the audience celebrated not only The Rock's win but also the spirit of competition that had unfolded before them. With the Seal now on his feet and regaining composure, The Rock leaned in closer, speaking quietly yet earnestly. "You've got talent and heart, keep pushing yourself." The Seal nodded, a mix of admiration and humility evident on his face. It was a moment that transcended rivalry. It was a testament to mutual respect forged in the heat of battle. As The Rock took one final bow, soaking in the atmosphere, he reminded everyone why he remained an icon, not merely through victories but through his ability to uplift others and honor the true essence of sportsmanship. This victory would be remembered not just for the knockout but for how both fighters conducted themselves in its aftermath, leaving an indelible mark on combat sports history. As the adrenaline faded and the arena became a distant hum, the Navy SEAL sat on the edge of the ring, reflecting on the match that had just unfolded. He could still feel the sting of The Rock's knockout blow, a vivid reminder of how quickly things could change in the heat of competition. Overconfidence had fueled his bravado leading up to the fight, and now he realized that humility was an equally potent teacher. In the moments before the match, he had felt invincible, buoyed by the cheers of the crowd and his own past successes, but in that ring, he learned a hard lesson about respect. Not only for his opponent but for the unpredictability of combat itself. The Rock had not just been a fighter. He was a symbol of resilience, proving that even legends can be challenged. The Seal glanced around at the cheering fans, some still celebrating their champion's victory, while others offered nods of encouragement in his direction. It was a mix of admiration and sympathy that he hadn't anticipated. "You can't let one loss define you," he thought to himself, knowing he would take this experience back to training. This defeat would not be a stumbling block but a stepping stone. As he stood to exit the ring, he felt a newfound resolve coursing through him. The words of The Rock echoed in his mind: "Talent and heart are important, but respect and perseverance are critical for growth." With this defeat in mind, he vowed to return stronger, ready to face whatever challenges awaited him with both humility and determination. As the arena gradually emptied, the echoes of the match lingered in the air, a testament to an unforgettable night of sport and spectacle. The Rock's victory not only highlighted his physical prowess but also underscored the values that he embodies: sportsmanship, humility, and resilience. In a world often dominated by egos, his genuine respect for the Navy SEAL and acknowledgement of his talent shone brightly, setting an example for athletes across all disciplines. Fans left with a renewed appreciation for what it truly means to compete. It's not just about winning but about uplifting one another in the face of adversity. The Rock's ability to turn a fierce rivalry into a moment of camaraderie illustrated that even in combat sports, there is room for mutual respect and learning. His words of encouragement to the SEAL after the fight resonated powerfully, reminding everyone that true champions are defined not only by their victories but by how they treat others. As The Rock waved goodbye to his supporters, he solidified his legacy as more than just an entertainer or fighter. He was a role model whose journey inspired countless individuals to pursue excellence while maintaining humility. The reverberations of his knockout blow extended beyond the ring, encouraging competitors to strive for greatness while remembering that every challenge offers an opportunity for growth. In this thrilling chapter of combat sports history, The Rock emerged not only as a victor but as a beloved figure who exemplifies the spirit of resilience and sportsmanship, ensuring that his impact would be felt long after the final bell rang.